Hello and welcome to another video. Prior to this post, I'd already considered I already considered my options when thinking about rendering. However, during a previous private project of mine, I used a multipass feature to render out all the different aspects of my animation. So this was actually done on this one. It's a long loop utilising different elements. So you can see here that there's like hilly mountains and stuff. But basically, the multipass was done by using a compositing tag, going into the object buffer and enabling the buffer, basically giving each different element. So these are the compositing tags, and each one has a different ID, a different number, and then they are entered into the multipass and then enabled and given the group ID, and then that's the separate pass. So I've just done a little quick example here of mine. Unfortunately, the XParticles system hasn't gone through, which is a bit annoying, but hey ho. But as you can see, with this in multipass mode, it doesn't matter which layer I'm on, they're all basically layered up together. Whereas if I go into the single pass version, we get to see each layer working. And as you see, it's got some refraction. I shouldn't have checked that really. I did this a bit a different way. So refraction, there's no refraction, I can get rid of that one. Reflection, so you can see this particularly works on the glossy material. So these are particularly the square panels here, where you get a lot of glossy reflection. Ambient occlusion, there you go, you can see lots of different height segments going on there with the displacement map. Some global illumination, so this is working partly with the reflections here, but to globally illuminate. So you got all these little red dots here, that's all of the XParticles coming through and being reflected. Ambient, again, there's no ambient because there's no sky, so I can get rid of that. Shadow, don't need that. There's lots of these that I don't know. Specular, now there is a bit of specular, and you can see that at the top there. I don't know how well that's going to come through, but specular there. Got some diffuse. Diffuse is basically just the colour. As long as there's some colour there, I'm fine. And then the background here. Now in multipass, okay, that's quirky. But yeah, so there we go. That's the background there. And basically, what this allows for is it allows for further editing. So if I was just to render this out as a single flat image, then it would all be subject to the same effect. So, for example, here on the background, if actually to be fair, if I was able to have a separate layer of just the XParticles, I'd be able to make them glow really well without affecting any of the other colors and anything or any of the other objects in the image. As well as, for example, if there's too much global illumination, I can turn that right down, and again, that won't affect the overall look of the image. It'll just affect that one aspect of the whole project. So this could be really, really useful, and this is why I might be considering using it in the final stages. And the reason why I'm now considering this is because there are lots and lots of things going on. And if there's one thing or one element that isn't right, and I haven't done a multipass, then I'm going to have to re-render the whole thing. And depending on the settings, I would prefer to have a good setting for it all, a good high quality setting for it all. That will take a very, very long time to re-render. So this is just some of my thoughts and some of my processes on it. So that's the better one. These are just some of my thoughts and processes against the whole thing. Again, it's not the final decision. However, another factor to take in is that the university in which I go to, they have some very, very powerful PCs which I'm able to use to render. So depending on the accessibility for that that will ultimately affect my decision whether or not to go for a multipass function. And in addition to this as well, so here's the multipass in the render settings. I'll just enlarge this slightly. So you can see that I've got all of the physical, so I'm in the physical renderer. So that was rendered at medium. I've got the multipass enabled, and I've got all of these ones here. So this is basically the general layout, and that was done through just adding all image layers, and it comes up with a big list, and then I've just deleted some as well. So yeah, so that's pretty much the multipass functionality. And like I said, there's lots of factors to consider, and I think I'll be able to make a better decision when I come to that. But this is just a quick little update video of some of my thought processes that are going at the moment. So thanks very much, and see you later.